are back. Isaiah chapter 32. But look, a king will rule in the right way, and his leaders will carry out justice. Each one will stand as a shelter from high winds, provide safe cover in stormy weather. Each will be cool running water in parched land. A huge granite outcrop giving shade in the desert. Anyone who looks will see, anyone who listens will hear. The impulsive will make sound decisions. The tongue-tied will speak with eloquence. No more will fools become celebrities, nor crooks be rewarded with fame. For fools are fools, and that's that, thinking up new ways to do mischief. They leave a wake of wrecked lives and lies about God, turning their backs on the homeless hungry, ignoring those dying of thirst in the street. And the crooks, underhanded sneaks they are, inventive in sin and scandal, exploiting the poor with scams and lies, unmoved by the victimized poor. But those who are noble make noble plans and stand for what is noble. Take your stand, idle woman, listen to me. Indulgent idle women, listen closely to what I have to say. In just a little over a year from now, you'll be shaken out of your lazy lives. The grape harvest will fail, and there'll be no fruit on the trees. Oh, tremble, you idle women. Get serious, you pampered dolls. Strip down and discard your silk fineries. Put on funeral clothes. Shed honest tears for the lost harvest, the failed vintage. Weep for my people's gardens and farms that grow nothing but thistles and thorn bushes. Cry tears, real tears, for the happy homes no longer happy. The merry city no longer merry. The royal palace is deserted. The bustling city quiet as a morgue. The emptied parks and playgrounds taken over by wild animals, delighted with their new home. Yes, weep and grieve until the Spirit is poured down on us from above, and the Badlands desert grows crops, and the fertile fields become forests. Justice will move into the Badlands desert. Right will build a home in the fertile field, and where there's right, there'll be peace, and the progeny of right, quiet lives, and endless trust. My people will live in a peaceful neighborhood, in safe houses, in quiet gardens. The forest of your pride will be clear-cut, the city showing off your power leveled. But you will enjoy a fortunate life, planting well-watered fields and gardens, with your farm animals grazing freely. Isaiah chapter 33. Doom to you, destroyer, not yet destroyed, and doom to you, betrayer, not yet betrayed. When you finish destroying, your turn will come destroyed. When you quit betraying, your turn will come betrayed. God, treat us kindly. You're our only hope. First thing in the morning, be there for us. When things go bad, help us out. You spoke in thunder and everyone ran. You showed up and nations scattered. Your people, for a change, got in on the loot. Pick the field clean of the enemy's spoils. God is supremely esteemed. His center holds. Zion brims over with all that is just and right. God keeps your days stable and secure. Salvation, wisdom, and knowledge in surplus. And best of all, Zion's treasure, fear of God. But look, listen. Tough men weep openly. Peacemaking diplomats are in bitter tears. The roads are empty. Not a soul out on the streets. The peace treaty is broken, its conditions violated, its signers reviled. The very ground under our feet mourns. The Lebanon mountains hang their heads. Flowering Sharon is a weed-choked gully, and the forests of Bashan and Carmel bear branches. Now I'm stepping in, God says. From now on, I'm taking over. The gloves come off. Now see how mighty I am. There's nothing to you. Pregnant with chaff, you produce straw babies. Full of hot air, you self-destruct. You're good for nothing but fertilizer and fuel, earth to earth, and the sooner the better. If you are far away, get the reports on what I've done. And if you're in the neighborhood, pay attention to my record. The sinners in Zion are rightfully terrified. The godless are at their wits' end. Who among us can survive this firestorm? Who of us can get out of this purge with our lives? The answer is simple. Live right. Speak the truth. Despise exploitation. Refuse bribes. Reject violence. Avoid evil amusements. This is how you raise your standard of living, a safe and stable way to live, a nourishing, satisfying way to live. Oh, you'll see the King, a beautiful sight, and you'll take in the wide vistas of land. In your mind, you'll go over the old terrors. What happened to that Assyrian inspector who condemned and confiscated? And the one who gouged us of taxes, and that cheating money changer, gone, out of sight forever. Their insolence, nothing now, but a fading stain on the carpet. No more putting up with a language you can't understand, no more sounds of gibberish in your ears. Just take a look at Zion, will you? Centering our worship in festival feasts, feast your eyes on Jerusalem, a quiet and permanent place to live. No more pulling up stakes and moving on. No more patched together lean toes. Instead, God majestic, God himself, the place in a country of broad rivers and streams. But rivers blocked to invading ships, off limits to predatory pirates. For God makes all the decisions here. God is our King. God runs this place, and he'll keep us safe. Ha! Your sails are in shreds, your mast wobbling, your hold leaking. The plunder is free for the taking, free for all. For weak and strong, insiders and outsiders, no one in Zion will say, I'm sick. Best of all, they'll all live guilt-free. Isaiah chapter 34. Draw in close now, nations, listen carefully. You people, pay attention. Earth, you, too, and everything in you. World, and all that comes from you. And here's why God is angry, good and angry with all the nations, so blazingly angry at their arms and armies that he's going to rid earth of them, wipe them out. The corpses thrown in a heap will stink like the town dump in midsummer, their blood flowing off the mountains like creeks in spring runoff. Stars will fall out of the sky like overripe, rotting fruit in the orchard, and the sky itself will be folded up like a blanket and put away in a closet. All that army of stars shriveled to nothing, like leaves and fruit in autumn dropping and rotting. Once I've finished with earth and sky, I'll start in on Edom. I'll come down hard on Edom, a people I've slated for total termination. God has a sword thirsty for blood and more blood, a sword hungry for well-fed flesh, lamb and goat blood. The suet-rich kidneys of rams. Yes, God has scheduled a sacrifice in Bozrah, the capital. The whole country of Edom a slaughterhouse, a wholesale slaughter, wild animals and farm animals alike slaughtered. The whole country soaked with blood, all the ground greasy with fat. It's God's scheduled time for vengeance. The year all Zion's accounts are settled. Edom's streams will flow sluggishly, thick with pollution, the soil sterile, poisoned with waste, the whole country a smoking, stinking garbage dump. The fires burning day and night, the sky is black with endless smoke, generation after generation of wasteland. No more travelers through this country. Vultures and skunks will police the streets. Owls and crows will feel at home there. God will reverse creation, chaos. He will cancel fertility, emptiness. Leaders will have no one to lead. They'll name it No Kingdom There, a country where all kings and princes are unemployed. Thistles will take over, covering the castle's fortresses conquered by weeds and thorn bushes. Wild dogs will prowl the ruins. Ostriches have the run of the place. Wild cats and hyenas will hunt together. Demons and devils dance through the night. The night demon Lilith, evil and rapacious, will establish permanent quarters. Scavenging carrion birds will breed and brood infestations of ominous evil. Get and read God's book. None of this is going away. This brooding evil. God has personally commanded it all. His Spirit set it in motion. God has assigned them their place, decreed their fate in detail. This is permanent, generation after generation, the same old thing. Amen.